Good evening, or good late afternoon, almost, almost evening. 'Tis time to go home, babies. Are you ready? Are you ready, my children? Let's go, my children. Oh, pretty bird. Here we go. You're so tough. Oh my goodness. I'm so scared. Help. Yep. Yep. Make your point. Yep. Got it. Yep. Yep. You're the boss. I understand. Yep. I got the message. I got the message. Very tough. As you all could see here live, you've seen it here first. Pretty bird is the toughest gander in all the lands. Fear him. Fear him now. Right, Pretty bird? Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. I know you guys love the big puddles. Hi, Squirt. I know you guys love the big puddles, but we gotta go. Pretty bird, you just taught me my lesson, dude. I said I understand. I said you're the toughest. Ow, that's my skin. You got me in the knee. Ow. By the way, I'm not threatening to kick him when I pick up my foot. I'm actually using my boot to block him from getting my skin. That's all this is. Come on, Bert, let's go. You are such a butt right now. He's actually not as bad as he usually is. Now, he's not being a bad goose. He's not being a bad gander. This right here is normal, guys. This is literally what he's supposed to do. He's telling me to back off from his gaggle and his girls because 3 of his girls have been laying eggs. That's right. Layla, Dino, and Peach have been laying eggs. He's been the one mating them. So in his mind, those are his ladies, and he needs to protect them. Pretty Bird is a hybrid, so he's mixed with a domestic goose. So Pretty Bird is half Canada goose and half domestic. He's actually half Chinese goose. And because of that, Pretty Bird's instincts are not the same as that of a Canada goose, where a Canada goose would choose a mate and then in average stay loyal to that mate and mate for the rest of their life. Since they do mate for life. Pretty Bird, on the other hand, he's not exactly like that because he's mixed. So he's kind of got that half that domestic, like he can have more than one female. But to Pretty Bird, it pretty much appears that Layla is his queen. And if anybody's curious who his queen is, Layla is that one. That golden goose right there with the orange, bright orange beak. Beautiful colors. She's an American buff. And yeah, since the first day he's seen her, he's been in love with her. And she actually did not accept him last year, but rather went off with the African ganders, whom she had Dino and Peach with, and a couple of other goslings. She raised Peach with Pretty Bird's help because, let's just say, the African ganders had no interest in supporting her, whereas Pretty Bird, he does have that strong instinct to want to protect his goslings, and because he liked Layla, it seemed like to him it didn't matter who the babies were from. In his mind, they were his babies. And so he helped raise them up. But Dino was actually raised by my daughter indoors. So we took a couple of the eggs. We actually took 3 eggs. And my goodness, can I walk? We took 3 of the eggs and hatched them indoors in the incubator. And then the rest of the eggs we let Layla hatch. And then we allowed Layla to keep one of her babies because it was the first time that she had successfully had a nest and successfully had hatched out any babies. The year prior to us getting her, because we got her last year and she was 2. So she's 3 years old now. She's our second oldest goose on this property. Pretty Bird is 5 this April. He'll be 5 here in about a month. Actually less than a month, about 2.5, 3 weeks. And then next to that we have Squirt right there. Squirt is our third oldest. The little tiny one over there. She is actually a full-blown adult. She's a cackling goose or a cackler. So different people say different. Some people say cackling, ing, and some people say cackler with an er at the end. I don't know why, but that's just and the way that I've caught on to it. It seems to be kind of like the opossum. How like we call them a possum down here in Texas, but but they're actually supposed to be called an opossum. So, I think it's just more where you're at. Okay, Layla, we gotta go, Mama. Come on, let's go. It's getting late. Let's go. Good job. Come on, babies. Let's go. And yes, I do legally own Canada geese. No, these are not wild. These are domestically bred Canada geese that were bred by a legal breeder. And then I have the proper paperwork to be allowed to keep them for my state. If you're curious about how that works, there's actually multiple steps to it. You need to figure out first where you're living. So depending on the state that you're living in, there is a federal part to being allowed to keep them, and then there is a state part to being allowed to keep them, and that's the very basic, very, very simple explanation of it. In some states, you need to have additional permits just to own them, whereas in some states, you, from my understanding, can't own them. But I think it's only like New York State. I'm not 100% sure. But I know for a fact there are some states you're not allowed to breed them in. As in, you cannot become a Canada Goose breeder, but you could become a Canada Goose keeper. And by breeder, I don't mean that you can't let your geese have babies. I mean that you can't have them let babies and then sell those babies, as in you cannot become a seller. So in the sense of breeding them for sale. Layla, let's go, Mama. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Squirt. You coming? Come on, babies. Come on, babies. Let's go. Come on. Layla, 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 Layla. Come on, babies. Let's go. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on now. Layla, Layla, Layla. Layla. Come on, babies. You guys are being slow tonight. Squirt's like, okay, let's go home. Yes, I know, little girl. Nobody wants to listen, eh? Nobody wants to listen. You guys are all being stubborn tonight. Dino. Especially you with your stubborn butt. Let's go, girl. Dino is a very sweet goose. Though she does have an attitude right now around mating season, which is kind of funny. Because my daughter hand-raised Dino. This is this one right here. That's Dino. You can tell Dino and Peach apart by the fact that Peach has a peach-colored beak. Partly pink and partly orange. I don't know how well y'all can see that. The tip of her beak is pink, and then it goes into a beautiful orange color. Whereas Dino has an orange, pink, and black beak. Like somebody took a Sharpie to it and was real messy with it. Isn't she cute? Anyway. Okay, Pretty Bird. Excuse me, I'm trying to walk here. Excuse me. Alrighty, let's go. So most of the time, Pretty Bird does not attack me full force. The reason for this is because Pretty Bird was hand-raised by me, and I've been his mama basically his entire life, and I've had him since he was an egg. So there's really most of the gaggle sees me as part of the gaggle. So like these 5 right here, these 2 and these 3, which makes 5. Anybody who doesn't know math, I'm just kidding. These ones right here, I have hand raised, so they are tamer than the ones that would not be hand raised. And then Layla was partly hand raised by a family in Texas. Hi, babies. Hi, Ducky. Hi, Ducky. Hi, Ducky. Yes, Pretty Bird. I know. You're just doing your job. I know you're just doing your job. It just hurts sometimes. Yeah. I know it's a lot of work, isn't it? Are you tired yet? You've been doing this for months, buddy. I know. I know. Sadly, even though Pretty Bird's been working real hard on trying to get all them eggs to be fertile, we have yet to have a fertile egg. And they have laid probably, I don't know, a good probably 7 eggs each out of each of these ladies. Pretty Bird's not related to any of these girls, so, or anybody here for that matter. So him mating with any of the females is not an issue. But let's go, Layla. Let's go, Peach. So for an example, let me show you guys this. So hand raised versus not hand raised behavior. So you guys saw I can touch Pretty Bird. You guys saw I can touch like some of my Canadas. Come on, Layla, let's go. Let's go, come on. Layla. So Layla was hand raised by someone else. And though I can touch her, she doesn't really like it, right? But Peach was Goose raised. So Peach was raised by Pretty Bird and by Layla. And Pretty Bird was not their daddy, but he still helped protect them. But Peach, as you guys can see, though Peach does not fear me severely, and I can get very close to her, she does not like being touched. Same thing with Squirt, little tiny Squirt over here. Squirt and I, we have a great relationship. Squirt trusts me on a lot of things, but Squirt does not like being touched. It's just how she is. We love her regardless. But I'm just letting you guys know there are different ways these animals will respond to being hand raised. Say, for an example, Dino, which is this one right here. If you get her, like if you start touching her and like block her from running away right away, she completely tames for you. Like she will cuddle with you, she'll hang out with you, she'll sit on your lap, she'll nuzzle you. You can pick her up with one hand. Like I'm not joking, like you can hold her out like this, sitting on your hand with her feet just hanging down, and she'll just hang out. Dino is very sweet in that way, but if she doesn't feel like it, she'll run away from you. And she was hand raised by my daughter. Pretty Bird, he's actually very tame throughout the majority of the year, but around mating season he turns into a crazy boy, and that's completely normal. I didn't get Squirt until she was 6 months old, so she was actually Goose raised at a different location. So you got double whammy there. Not only was she Goose raised, but to top it off, at a different place. And she's been with us now for over 2 years, and she is nearly, she'll be 3 this summer. So Layla will be 3 this year. Squirt will be 3 this year. Peach is 1, Dino's 1, Pretty Bird's 5. And then we have 2 of our Canadas here, which is Charlie and Blue. They're 2 this year. And then, okay, Littlefoot, Petrie, Ducky, Sarah, and Spike will be 1 this year. And that's our entire gaggle. As you guys can see, we're very particular about our names. We have all kinds of weird names going on. Right, Layla? And yes, we named Layla as well. For some reason, Layla just gave off the name Layla Gold. That's her full name, Layla Gold, because she's a golden goose. You know, she's the golden goose that lays the golden eggs. That's the joke. Layla. Pretty Bird. I'm talking to Layla, not to you. You have something in your nose, dude. Come here, Pretty Bird. Come here. Come here. There you go. There you go. You're welcome. Is that your way of saying thank you? Is that your way of saying thank you? Excuse you. Excuse you. Anyways, the reason why I make these videos is because I like showing all of you that Canada geese are not these evil, horrible beings that are just going to attack you for no apparent reason because it's just in their blood to do so. That is such a misconception about them. They're very misunderstood. These animals are actually exceptionally loyal. They're exceptionally sweet. They're very affectionate in their own way. Just like any other animal has their own way of showing affection. The only reason why we as humans tend to somehow think that some animals are not affectionate is because we're so used to affection meaning physical contact, or like show of affection meaning something like, giving a hug, kisses, shaking hands, petting someone, touching, you know what I mean? Like there seems to be some form of touch that generally is associated with affection, and this does not apply to all animals. Many animals show affection in different ways. So, for an example, in my opinion, the best way you can compare this to the human world, how some humans will show affection without, it necessarily including a lot of touch or a lot of like traditional form of affection. For an example will, by the way, the stick, I don't hit them with it or anything. It's used to block their way. That's all it is. They just stop walking. Come on, babies, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. It's a gaggle stick. It's basically just a walking stick most of the time. And then if they try to turn right and they're not supposed to, I just do this. And it makes them continue on the left. Excuse you. What are you looking at? What do you see? Ah, see the birdies. See the birdies flying up there, huh? Let's go, mamas. Come on. I know, babies, I know. Let's go. Thank you. I agree with you. These geese are very, very cool. But I'm kind of biased here. They're my geese, so of course they're cool, They're like the best geese in the world because they're mine. But anyways, I love them each individually in their own way. Even the grumpy one over here. Hey, bird. Let's go, babies. Let's go. Let's go, night-night. Come on, let's go. Layla, 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 layla. I know, Squirt. I'm being slow. Squirt's always the one waiting for everybody going, come on, guys, let's go. Come on. Let's go, babies. Come on. As you guys can see, look at that. The Canada geese are not attacking me for no reason. I know, it's crazy. It's almost like they're not evil. Anyways, do you see how he's shaking his head right there? Right there. You see that? This one right here, he does it a lot. See how he kind of puts his head up and shakes it? And some of the other ones will do it as well. Pretty bird, no, we're not going to the right. Stop it. Stop it. You know exactly where we're going. Charlie, come on, girl. Let's go. Let's go, Charlie. Let's go. Charlie, move it. Let's go, Charlie. Come on, babies. Let's go. I need to get Layla back to the front because Pretty Bird follows Layla. Dino, Peach, and Pretty Bird follow Layla. Charlie and Blue follow Pretty Bird. And the rest of the gaggle follows everyone else. I'm sorry, Layla. I think I touched your tail there on accident. Let's go, Dino, Dino. See, look. It just functions as a guide. Let's go, Layla, Layla. You don't need to poke and hit and shove whatever these animals. You can literally, if you just move slowly and they know you and you get them used to it, you can lightly guide them with it. And a lot of times, a slight indication can already be enough. Layla, let's go. Let's go, Layla. I know you want to forage, but you've literally had all day at the pond to forage. All day. And then overnight, you get grain in your aviary. Literally. Come on, babies. Anyways, back to Canada geese. So, Canada geese are not evil. I was going to give you guys an example of how you can compare it to the human world, kind of how geese will show affection. So, for an example, in the human world, on occasion, and many of us have met this particular personality, there is that grumpy old man. How many of us know that grumpy old man? You know he loves you, right? He's super protective. He's super gruff, very rough around the edges. He provides for his family. He's ready to throw down at any minute to keep everyone safe. But he just kind of is not good at giving hugs. He just, something about it, it's like it's like in that area, he's just like, he doesn't know, you know? But like he's not good at it. You know what I mean? But he shows you that he loves you in different ways, right? Like he provides for you, he keeps you safe, right? He's like, he'll hang out with you, you know, he'll watch a game with you. Maybe he'll play a game with you depending on what kind of guy he is. You know, maybe he'll like invite you to come help him fix the car, whatever it is, like, you know. And you know, we have ladies that are like that as well in the human world, where they're not big on that physical kind of lovey-dovey kind of affection that most of us are used to, but they show you that they love you or care for you in different ways. In the same way, in the animal world, there are some animals that just aren't big on that physical affection, where they show the ones around them that they care in other ways. One of those ways is by being protective, by announcing when they find food, by following you when you go somewhere to make sure you're safe, by checking on you when you're not okay, by staying with you when they know that you're not feeling well, things like that. It doesn't always have to be cuddles for it to mean I care, right? So, hi Tim, who can I talk to? What are you talking about? Who can you talk to? About what? About geese? What do you mean? Let's go, babies. Let's go. If you can elaborate, if you're still here, Tim. Anyway, so some of the ways that geese will show affection is they will, like for an example, you'll notice that the males, if you know which ones the males are within the gaggle. A gaggle is a flock of geese. So it's a gaggle of geese instead of a flock of geese. But the males basically, for an example, when Layla earlier today went to walk back to the aviary to go lay her egg today, Pretty Bird was very worried for her and came running after her after a minute when he realized that she had left, so that he could go with her to keep her safe and protect her. Another way that a gander will show that he cares for his gaggle or for his mate is, for an example, he'll be very protective of her. He will always place himself between his mate and whatever he considers potentially dangerous. So, or wherever he considers there to be potential danger. A male will generally keep their heads up erect like this, much more than the females, where the females will be grazing constantly and not quite paying attention. Males will often, almost always, keep their heads up tall, paying attention to the surroundings. What the heck? I don't know if y'all just saw that, but there was a big herd of sheep that just ran back there. I guess they got a sheepdog. I guess the sheep got out. That's what happens when you live out in the country. Let's go. So Pretty Bird acting like this, where he randomly will charge at me and kind of nip at me and stuff. That's his way of showing his girls that he's willing to protect them, right? Because he's basically trying to say, hey, my girls want to forage. If they want to forage, they can forage. Like, don't push them along. Don't make them go. We will walk as slow as they want to go. Whereas the Canadas, when you see them kind of whip their head up like that and they kind of bob their head and shake their head up, like, let's see if they'll do it. Let's go. Let's go, babies. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Layla, will you pay attention to where you're going already? Anyways, you'll sometimes see them kind of shake their head and like come almost like a round motion. Like it'll go up, and like kind of wiggle around up top. Like their head will go up, like, wait, it goes up and then almost small circle up top. And it looks like they're just shaking their head, but it's a specific kind of movement with their head. And what that actually, Layla, sweetheart, I know you want to forage. but we need to go, sweetie. I know you're hungry. Are you getting ready to sit on the eggs? I've noticed you've been starting to pluck some feathers. Huh? Anyways, so you'll notice them kind of sometimes shake their heads when they're just standing there. And it's actually their way of saying, let's go. Like, they're basically saying, come on, let's go. I'm bored. Come on, let's go. Like, they want to go. They want to leave. They want to get going. They do not want to keep waiting. They don't want to keep standing here. They want to get going. They have somewhere to be. They have somewhere to be. Or they're bored. Who knows? But they want to move. So that's how they tell the rest of the gaggle, especially Canada geese will tell the rest of the gaggle, let's go, by shaking their head that way. They just did it again. I don't know if I caught it on camera. Anyway, a couple cool things about Canada geese before we stop this video are things like, for an example, Canada geese mate for life. Canada geese will mourn not only their mate, not only their goslings, but also their eggs and or nest when they lose it. They will mourn members of their gaggle if they pass away. They will mourn their mate. And if their mate passes away or disappears and does not return, the process of mourning can become so severe that the remaining mate, as in the surviving mate, may potentially pass away from missing their mate so much. Basically dying of a broken heart is what you would call it. Hey, Nadia. Another thing about Canada geese is that they actually have the ability to fly upside down. So literally their head remains upright, okay? So their head remains normal, stretched out in the front, but the rest of their body rotates upside down, so their belly is up and their back is on the bottom, but the way they can twist and turn their neck, their head remains right side up. It's really cool, actually, and they generally do this to like quickly slow down. But another thing that Canada geese specifically can do is actually sleep while they're flying. So Canada geese, or geese in general, but Canada geese specifically, they never truly sleep the way that we sleep. So when humans sleep, generally the majority of our brain is turned off. Right side, left side, doesn't matter. Okay, but for a goose, only half of their brain is ever actually asleep. So half of their brain is awake, and the reason that is because they are a prey animal. So therefore, they are at risk. See, Pretty Bird sees the kitty too close to his gals, and he's ready to do something about it if he needs to. And Simba knows to walk away. Anyways, another cool thing about Canada geese is actually that they will nest every year in the same location. This is a general rule, not like a fact, like it's not a concrete fact, because there can be factors that may cause a goose to change the location of where they're nesting. But generally, a goose or a pair of geese will always nest. They will always return to the same location, and that location is usually always the location where the female was hatched. So the location where the female was hatched and or raised is the location where she will return with her mate as an adult to then build her own nest and raise and hatch her own babies. Dinah, do you have a bunch of ants on you? Because that couldn't have felt good. Ouch. You good, girl? Dino, you okay? You okay, Dino? Anyway. Another thing is that actually a lot of people think that geese only raise their babies for around 8 weeks. Again, this is not true. Their babies are only kept with the parents for those beginning 8 weeks under like strict protection, right? It's kind of the equivalent to us having small children. So like children who are exceptionally vulnerable, who are at their most vulnerable, who are most likely to get hurt, least likely to know their surroundings, least likely to be capable of protecting themselves, and so on and so forth. And that pretty much counts for the first 8 to 10 weeks. Once their young can fly, which usually happens somewhere around that time period of 8 to 10 weeks, usually around 9 weeks or so, they'll start flying. And once that happens, even though you may not see them in that little school kind of following between mom and dad all the time anymore, you will often see like a line of geese. Like for an example, there'll be like 5 geese, and you'll see 1 goose in the front, 3 geese behind that one, and then 1 in the back. A lot of times the one in the front is mom, and the 3 in the center are the babies. The 1 in the back is dad. A lot of times. But because Canada goslings grow up so quickly and they look like adults within a pretty short period of time, often we think those are just adults walking around, when in reality, these are still goslings. They're still with their parents, and their parents are still teaching them and still protecting them and still helping them learn the world. Actually, the goslings will continue to stay close by their parents, becoming more and more independent over time, much like a human child would, but still staying close by their parents up until even beyond, but generally at least up until they're around a year old. They will actually stick with the parents a lot, learning a lot from the parents. So technically a Canada gosling is raised by their parents for approximately a year, not for 8 weeks. And I always find it very interesting. One of my favorite noises in the world. Hi, Squirt. What you doing, girl? What? What? What is it, Squirt? Are you mad at Popcorn? What is it? Why are you yelling at Popcorn? She's just chasing a rooster around. He's a juvenile rooster. He's actually very tame. Popcorn, are you in trouble? He's like freaked out. He's like, why is this tiny miniature goose chasing me? Are you okay, Popcorn? Hi, Popcorn. Come here, Popcorn. Popcorn. Hi, Popcorn. Hi, honey. Come here, Popcorn. He's like, no, I'm running away from this tiny goose. Squirt, what are you doing? What are you doing, Squirt? What did you do, Popcorn? What the heck is going on? She usually chases the white frizzle rooster. That's the one she usually yells at, but not usually this much. Like, she doesn't usually chase him around the yard. What? Hey! Spike! How many times have I told you, quit being mean to Squirt? We'll make sure that was Spike. So I need to figure out what the heck is going on with the dynamic. Huh? What's up with that? Hey. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Why are you going after Squirt? Why are you go? Yeah, you. Yes, you. Okay, fine. You're cute. You get away with it. How do you stay mad at that? Did you see that? How? How do you stay mad at that? Here, everybody stop moving, y'all. Now, anybody who's new to the channel can see the difference between Pretty Bird. It's right here. See the big old white patch on his cheek? The coloration is mostly brown on his neck and head. He's got that white pattern around his beak, on the base of his beak, so like right behind his nose. He's got 2 bumps. He's got white spots on the back of his neck, and his feet are orange. Those are just some of the most obvious differences. And then when you look at these guys, well, hello there. What are you guys? Cranes or storks or something? Look at him. Huh. Hi, Bubba's. What you doing? Where you going? Fine, you may land at my pond, but I expect you've moved on by 10 a.m. in the morning. Thank you very much. All right. You guys ready to go night-night? What? You're not using your pond tonight. Squirt. Are you done yelling at the roosters? What happened to your big little one? Hey. What happened to your beak, baby? Who did that? Who bit your beak? Who bites your beak? Huh? Pretty Bird, nobody's paying attention to you right now. Will you knock it off? Who bites your beak, baby? Hey, who did that? Who bit your beak? Who bit your beak? Who bit his beak? Who did it? Who did it? What, you did it, Blue? Was it you, Blue? How about you, Charlie? Charlie. I'm talking to you, Charlie. 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 Stop ignoring me. On the other hand, we've got Pretty Bird trying to beat me up over here. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Pretty Bird, you're being mean. Why are you being so mean? Ducky, ducky, ducky. Ducky, ducky, ducky. Ducky, ducky, ducky. This is Ducky. Will you stop pulling on my arm? I'm trying to make a video. Excuse me. Can you stop? Let go. Excuse me. Sir. I did not agree to this. Excuse me. This was not part of the agreement. Will you step it? Step it. No. Yes, go beat that up. Good job. Hey, Peach. Oh, you're so pretty. Pretty Bird. I thought you were done. What? What'd I do? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Fine. Which do you want? Do you want me to walk away? Or you want me to stay near you girls? Which is it? Because if you don't let me walk away, I can't leave you girls alone. And logically, you should understand this. Hey, what the heck is that? Wait. What is that? Wait, Bart, hold on. It's plastic. Nope. Stuff constantly gets blown in the yard. I saw you guys cuddling. Hi, Simba. Hi, Simba. Hi, my big boy. Oh, Simba. Oh, Simba. You're such a goofy kitty. Hi, Simba. What are you doing, Simba? What are you doing, Simba? Goofy kitty. Yes, Violet. Yes. This is one of the stray cats that has made itself a home on our property. If anybody knows anybody in Texas who needs some kitties, we've got 1 million. Trust me, we won't run out. Anybody who wants some, come on down. Anyway, Water. That's what I was doing. I'm turning the water on. Excuse me, honey. Excuse the mess over here. There's something I had to work on earlier. Oh, come on. There it is. I busted the goosies foraging on land in a big old puddle, so I was able to get them home faster. I know. Y'all have been so good lately. Not being in water right before dark. Perfect. That way I don't have to argue with you guys to get your butts out of the pond. Alright guys, we need to clean out these buckets and hope that Pretty Bird does not kill us or attempt to kill us. Oh, too late. We must get this water hose and hope that Pretty Bird does not attempt to kill us. Revert! Y'all are the ones who want a pool in your aviary. I can't give you a pool if you don't let me clean it and put it back in there. It's a little pool, but it's just for overnight. And in all reality, it technically don't need a pool or water in there overnight. But I've always preferred giving my birds something to eat and something to drink in the evenings if I was able to. And right now, as the temperatures get hotter and as the temperatures are going to be hot, they do spend a night in this aviary, which I've reinforced with extra fencing and put a bunch of crap around the outside to try and prevent them from digging. There's also multiple cameras, like multiple, not just two, multiple cameras pointing at this one aviary. There's inside the aviary, around the aviary. Those cameras are motion activated. Yeah, let's just say I'll know if somebody tries to go near my birds at night. So, or something. So, and I do this because it's better for them. When it's hot out and, you know, it gets real hot inside of buildings overnight, but outside at night, even in the summertime, even when it's hot out, you know, the wind will blow and there'll maybe be like a little breeze or something that helps things cool down. Well, when you're inside of a building, you ain't getting that breeze. It ain't happening. And it's not like their coops have AC units in them, which, by the way, actually would not be a good thing if they did. It actually makes it harder for them to deal with the hot, and it makes it harder for them to deal with cold when they have controlled temperatures inside their coops. If you do use any kind of controlled temperature inside your coop, it should really only be a very small fraction difference between the outside and the inside, from my understanding. And you'll need to make sure it's not flammable. There are many coop fires every year in the wintertime because people think it's safe to use a heat lamp. You know, those same things we put over like baby chicks and baby ducks and baby goslings. Those lamps that, like, if you touch them, you like question your own sanity for having touched it because it just hurts so bad. Those ones, you know, those bright red ones. Many of you will know them from having reptiles. Anyways, yeah. Birds, I don't know if anybody's ever heard this before, but birds have something called bird dander, meaning that they have shedding from their skin and from their feathers that creates a very fine dust. This fine dust will deposit inside of the coop very quickly, and it can be flammable. It's very dry. So when some of that bird dust, that bird dander gets accumulated on a heat lamp, it can actually cause sparks. And most of us are keeping hay or straw or some sort of cedar shavings or something in our coops. So when those little tiny sparks fall onto the, dry grass, it can often ignite. And this is why many coop fires happen in the winter time or in the colder months in general. So I personally have a recommendation for anybody that's concerned about their birds freezing at night in colder climates. It's actually called a cat heat pad. It's an outdoor cat or dog heat pad. And what it is, it's pressure activated. And the birds will learn this. My birds have learned it as well. The birds will learn this. My cats know it. My birds know it. Even my geese have figured that thing out. And what it is that once there's a bird that sits on it or a cat that sits on it, this heat pad will automatically trigger and turn on, but it never raises above a certain temperature, like body temperature. So it doesn't get very hot or anything. It just gets to like a nice warm level. And it's basically equivalent of like one bird cuddling with another bird. So it creates a heat source outside of their own body, right? But it's not hot. It's not super warm. It's just enough to be like when the birds are huddling together to stay warm. But it's a heat source that's not a bird, you know what I mean? Which then supplies a heat source to multiple birds. Anyways, it can be a big help for like their feet and just warm up their feet. And when they do that, they can use that heat from their feet to warm up the rest of their body. And it has made a big difference for several people that I've told about this. I've told many people about this. I've told many people about this. Even in colder states, and in those states. What? River! Not very nice, pretty bird. Not very nice. Hi, Peaches. So my water hose attachment broke. So my hose is not, well, it's long, but it's not as long anymore. So now, as I move my aviary around to make sure they always have fresh grass, and the ground doesn't get nasty, I have to pull this over here. And let's just say water is heavy. That's all I'm going to say. Water is heavy. You can quote me on that. Anyway, this aviary, by the way, totally worth it. There were some bad reviews, some good reviews. For me, it would be like, I'd say a 4 out of 5 star review, 4.5 out of 5, 4 to 4.5 out of 5. The only thing that I think is negative about it is that the wiring it comes with is kind of a flimsy chicken wire thing that is not very sturdy at all. But as long as you are willing to buy additional fencing, something to reinforce it with, whether it's something like that or better yet something like this, at the minimum. Of course, I still need to buy more fencing to improve it, but this is my current solution for it. But the point that I'm making is the structure itself is actually pretty good, and I use additional locks to lock it at night. And then it comes with one of those tarps to protect them from the rain. I got the one that's like, I think it's 19 feet, 18 feet, 18 or 19 feet long. And then it's, I think, 9 feet wide. I think it's 9 by 18, I believe. 9 by 18, which is pretty large. And it holds my 12 geese no problem. Even with like the dynamics within the gaggle and some of them being lower in the pecking order and stuff, it gives enough space for them to move about and like avoid each other. And generally they will group together anyway. So yeah, the fencing thing is the only thing that really actually bothered me about it. The only other thing probably that if I could change it that I would want to change is the gap around the bottom. Is this that it has a gap down here, like this little piece here. I wish it didn't go up like that. I also understand it because it's better for uneven ground, but still, when it comes to predator proofing, it makes it harder. But this is my rigged makeshift version right now. Just and the birds have been here for like 3 nights now, so they've been here for a little bit, not super long, but a little while. Here's my neighbor's chickens. Hi, bucks. The neighbor's chickens like to visit us sometimes. Hi, bucks. We actually got, oh my, we got a dirty butt. We actually got 4 eggs from them, 4 olive eggs from them. So those eggs are actually green. See, look, I left the water hose on purpose, and look what happens. So they're actually green eggs, and we hatched 4 little chicks from there. I'll go ahead and I'll try to make a little video of them soon. And hopefully we'll get a hen out of that batch that lays olive eggs as well, or green eggs. Would be great. See, geese love water, and they will play in all kinds of different water. This goose is fully aware that that water sprays, but regardless, we'll keep shoving her beak into it. You're a dork. What are you doing? Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off this. I got to finish up, get the birds locked up. I just figured I'd give you guys an update on some of the things going on. Let you guys see the birds. Let you guys see that everybody's doing all right. I hadn't really been online much because after the whole thing with Barnacle Boy happened, I've just been a little bit struggling, and you know, it broke my heart. So, you know, I was so hopeful that we'd finally found a little friend for Squirt, somebody her size, but for some reason he passed away within a week of getting to us, and we don't really know for sure why, but most likely we're thinking it was something like worms and the stress. But then the breeder said that he'd wormed him like 2 weeks before sending him my way. So I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it to change it. But now I'm hoping that we'll be able to afford getting a couple of, like 1 or 2 cacklings this year, some goslings. That's plastic. Get some goslings this year for Squirt so that she can have some friends that are her size within a few weeks of us getting them, and they can get used to this location like from baby age on, and they'll be with me literally 24/7. And out of that, hopefully then, because I'll be bringing them out and around the geese once they're like little toddler-ish age, they'll start coming outside to go grazing once in a while and stuff. And hopefully with that, we'll be able to get the gaggle to get used to them, get the little goslings to get used to the gaggle, hopefully get squirt mostly to get used to them. So that's what, have her own little gaggle, like off to the side of the big gaggle, and she can have her own friends that are her size to play with, to hang out with, to mate with. And then let's finish this video on that note. We got a couple of horses messing around with each other. So the light brown one there, that's Littlefoot, and the dark brown one is Choctaw. Littlefoot is it called a gelding? He is a male horse that has been fixed, so he cannot produce offspring. But the dark brown one, he's actually a stallion. He has not been fixed, and he is an exceptionally gentle stud. Like, that's how they always describe him. He's a gentle stud. I 100% concur. He's absolutely hard, which is very strange because I think they said he's only 4 years old. So, and like I really thought he was much older than that, but apparently he's only 4 years old, which is crazy for a stud to be that young and so calm. But for some reason, after his first year, he calmed down significantly and became very, very tame, very sweet, and very mellow. And that's a huge, huge plus in a stud. I mean, to have a horse, like a male horse that is intact, be gentle, is just like amazing in my mind. Like I've never personally seen that. I haven't been around the horses super much, but horses are some of my more favorite animals. Not favorite, but like up there, you know, animals that I really like. And I used to research them a lot. And one thing you always heard about studs was that they were dangerous, couldn't trust them, they were more on the wilder side, things like that. So it's kind of cool to have a stud right next door who's actually really sweet. Anyway, y'all have a good night, and we will see you guys next time. I'll try to come on more often in the future so that you guys can see the birdies more often. Alright, I want to get off here. Literally, it's at the hour mark, so thank you so much for watching tonight. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope all your animals are doing well and your loved ones. I'm going to go ahead and get everybody locked up and try to take it easy tonight for once. Ha ha. That's going to happen. And I'll keep you guys posted on all the other adventures we have coming up. But yeah, springtime is coming, guys, and we've already got some stuff going on, so I'll try to get you guys updated and caught up, and then try to do better at keeping you guys posted and keeping you guys along the ride of our little adventure with our birdies. I know Squirt looks like hell right now, but she did get into it with Barnacle Boy when he was here, and it takes a while for their feathers to fall out and regrow. And she did get into it with one of the other geese at one point a while back. So she's okay, but her feathers got ruffled some, and she'll be molting in like a month or so. And when that happens, she'll be right back to being her beautiful self as always. Anyways, say night night. Can you say night night? There you go. Good night, guys.